Welcome to another deep dive. Today, cybersecurity, specifically Zscaler, a company kind of leading the charge in this ever-changing landscape.
Definitely, yeah.
We're looking at a recent Motley Fool article for this one.
Okay.
And, they do a good job of breaking down complex financial stuff.
Yeah.
And this article really digs into Zscaler's, role in the future. And the future of cybercrime is, not great.
No.
It's projected to cost the global economy, get this, $10.5 trillion by 2025.
Wow.
So, how are companies even protecting themselves with this, looming threat?
Especially with everyone working remotely these days.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're going to find out.
Yeah, it's a big question. Lots of companies try and figure this out.
Right.
The old way is just building a digital wall around your network. It's not enough.
Yeah.
Remote work, cloud computing, it's a whole new ballgame.
Totally. And you mentioned cloud computing.
Yeah.
And the article really digs into something called zero trust security, which is Zscaler's specialty.
Yeah.
Can you explain what that even is?
So zero trust, it's a framework. It assumes no user, no device inside or outside the network can be trusted.
Oh.
By default.
Mm-hmm.
So think airport security. They don't just let anyone on a plane.
Right.
You got to verify, screen for threats. Zero trust is that level of scrutiny, but for every single login attempt.
Every file, everything.
Everything. Not just usernames and passwords, the device, the location, the why of the request.
Oh, so it's constantly checking, making sure you're supposed to be looking at what you're looking at.
Exactly. You're minimizing the attack surface.
Okay.
Even if someone gets through one layer, they don't get access to everything.
Got it.
And this is huge with cloud computing. Data's everywhere.
Right.
It's not about a fortress anymore. It's about security built into every interaction.
Okay. So how does Zscaler actually pull this off? I mean, the article says they're stopping 9 billion security violations every day.
9 billion, yeah. That's a lot.
That's a crazy number.
It shows you just how vulnerable companies are.
Yeah.
So Zscaler, they have this cloud-based platform.
All right.
Sits between users and whatever they're trying to access.
Yeah.
So instead of going through the company's network,
right,
all the traffic goes through Zscaler's cloud.
Oh, okay.
Gets inspected,
yeah,
filtered for threats.
So it's like a security checkpoint, but in the cloud?
Yeah, a good way to think about it, like a global network of security guards.
Uh-huh.
Monitoring traffic 24/7, making sure only the right people and devices get to sensitive information.
That makes sense. But the article also mentions AI and machine learning to make it even smarter.
Right. It takes it to a whole other level.
Okay, tell me more about that. The article didn't really go into too much detail.
So Zscaler uses AI to analyze massive amounts of data.
Right.
It finds patterns, anomalies, basically detects threats in real time.
Okay.
Like traditional security. It relies on known malware signatures or attack patterns, but with AI.
They can adapt.
Exactly. It adapts to new threats, stuff that's never been seen before.
So they're not just reacting, they're predicting.
Exactly. It's constantly learning and evolving.
Wow.
Picks up on subtle indicators of bad activity, things humans would miss.
So it's a whole army of digital detectives.
Yeah, something like that.
Constantly checking for anything suspicious.
All the time, yep.
I like that. But the article also mentions that Zscaler isn't just stopping attacks. They're actually helping companies use AI securely themselves.
Right, because AI is a tool. And like any tool, it can be misused.
Right.
Companies are using AI copilots, chatbots, all that to streamline things.
Makes sense.
But that creates, security risks.
Yeah.
Zscaler saw this early on. So they developed tools to secure the use of AI within organizations.
So they're saying AI itself can be a vulnerability.
Yeah. And they're building tools to address that.
Interesting. What kind of tools?
Mainly focused on preventing data leakage from AI tools.
Give me an example.
Let's say a company uses an AI chatbot to talk to customers. You don't want that chatbot accidentally leaking sensitive customer data.
Right.
Zscaler's tools prevent that.
How?
By controlling data access, monitoring AI activity, making sure those AI tools are used responsibly and securely.
That's pretty cool. So they're kind of tackling both sides of the AI coin.
Yeah. Protecting against attacks and securing the use of AI within companies.
They get it. AI, it's a powerful tool for cybersecurity, but also a potential source of new problems.
Exactly.
So they're taking a holistic approach to AI security.
Yeah, which is what sets them apart.
The article specifically highlights spyware as a threat and mentions that those attacks have increased by like 111% in the past year.
Yeah, spyware is definitely a growing concern. It's nasty stuff.
It is. How is Zscaler fighting that?
Well, their platform is designed to detect and block spyware before it can even infect your system.
Right.
They analyze web traffic, look for suspicious patterns, known spyware signatures, and they use behavioral analysis.
Behavioral analysis.
Yeah, it's about identifying programs that are acting shady, even if they're not known spyware yet.
Oh, I see. So it's like a super vigilant antivirus that's laser focused on spyware?
Yeah, good analogy.
Okay.
But it goes further. They try to anticipate new spyware techniques, stay ahead of the curve.
Okay, this all sounds really impressive, but how is Zscaler doing as a company? Like, should I be investing?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
The article says their stock price is down 44% from its all-time high in 2021.
Yeah, I saw that. Seems a little worrying.
On the surface, yeah. But there's more to the story than just the stock price.
Okay, so unpack that for me. What else should we be looking at?
Well, Wall Street analysts are actually pretty bullish on Zscaler.
Ooh.
Most of them rate it as a buy.
Okay.
Some even predict growth up to 31% in the next 12 to 18 months.
Wow, that's quite a difference. So why are they so optimistic if the stock price is down?
Couple of key factors. First, Zscaler is still growing, like rapidly. They just posted record revenue last quarter, $628 million. That's a 26% increase year over year.
So they're not exactly struggling to get customers.
Nope. And importantly, it's not just growth, it's profitable growth.
Huh.
They're finding that balance between aggressive growth and like sustainable profitability, which is key for long-term success.
So it's not just about getting big fast, it's about building a solid business.
Exactly. Showing they can scale up while maintaining strong financials.
And, I mean, the article did mention a huge potential market for Zscaler services.
Huge. They estimate their total addressable market at $96 billion.
Wow.
And if you look at their current revenue,
They've barely scratched the surface.
exactly, they've got tons of room to grow.
So they're in a great position to, like, really capitalize on this growing demand for cybersecurity solutions.
For sure.
Okay, so it sounds like they have a lot going for them. Growing market, strong financials, and a, cutting-edge approach to cybersecurity.
Yeah, definitely a company to keep an eye on.
I'm definitely intrigued. We've covered a lot about Zscaler. But what about the bigger picture of cybersecurity?
Right, yeah. It's important to see beyond any single company.
Yeah,
Understand the big trends shaping the landscape.
absolutely. This is just the beginning of our deep dive. Okay, so we've established cybercrime is a huge problem, and it's only getting bigger. And Zscaler is, one of the companies tackling this challenge. But what does it all mean for, like, the average person?
We can't all have these enterprise-level security systems,
Right.
but there's a lot we can do to protect ourselves.
Okay, good. So, like, what's the most important thing for people to remember?
Awareness. Just being aware of the risks. That's a huge first step.
Yeah.
So many people think it won't happen to me.
Yeah, it's easy to feel like you're invincible online.
Right. But everyone's a potential target.
Okay, so once you're aware, what can you actually do?
The basics. Strong, unique passwords for everything.
I know. We hear it all the time, but... I know, but it's so important. A weak password is like leaving your front door open.
Okay, fair enough. What about two-factor authentication?
Huge.
Yeah.
It adds that extra layer of security.
Yeah.
Needing a code from your phone or email.
I mean, it can be a bit of a pain sometimes, but...
I know. But it's worth it for the peace of mind.
Yeah, totally.
Good.
What about, like, phishing scams?
Oh, yeah, those are getting more and more sophisticated.
Some of them look so real.
They do. That's why you got to be so careful. Don't click any links unless you're absolutely sure.
Yeah.
If you have any doubts at all, go directly to the website or contact the company.
Trust your gut. Something feels off.
It probably is. And phishing isn't just email anymore.
Oh, right.
Texts, social media, even phone calls.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we need to be on guard all the time.
Pretty much. But if you're aware of the risks and take basic precautions, you can really reduce your chances of being a victim.
So it's all about being proactive.
Yeah, taking control of your own online security.
Don't wait till something bad happens.
Exactly.
It's kind of like wearing a seatbelt, you know?
Yeah, good analogy. You don't wait for a crash to buckle up.
Right.
Right. Okay, so we talked about what individuals can do, but what about, like, the bigger picture? I mean, cybercrime, it feels like it's not just a tech problem.
You're right. It's a societal problem.
Yeah.
It can disrupt infrastructure, mess with trust in institutions, even destabilize economies.
It affects everything.
Yeah. And the more we rely on technology, the more vulnerable we become.
So what can we do about it, as a society, I mean?
That's the tough question. There's no easy answer. But we need to prioritize cybersecurity everywhere.
Okay.
Governments need to invest in infrastructure, create laws that actually deter criminals. Businesses need to make cybersecurity a priority. Invest in the right tools, the right expertise.
So we can't just rely on companies like Zscaler to solve this for us.
It's a collective effort. We all have a role to play.
We've been focusing a lot on the negative, the threats, the risks, but there's got to be a positive side to this, right?
Absolutely. Cybersecurity is not just about defense.
Okay.
It's about enabling innovation. Think about everything we can do online because of cybersecurity.
Yeah, true. Connect with people, access information, build businesses.
Exactly. And we can kind of take it for granted, that secure foundation that makes it all possible.
It's true, we do.
Cybersecurity is what lets the digital world thrive, gives us the confidence to explore, connect, create without being afraid.
So it's not just about protecting ourselves from the bad stuff.
It's also about empowering us to do amazing things.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. So cybersecurity is about both.
Exactly. It's about creating a digital environment where innovation can happen and everyone benefits.
Yeah, that's a good perspective. It's not just about defense. It's about enabling all the good stuff, too.
It's what makes cybersecurity so interesting. It's finding that balance between security and freedom, between protecting and empowering.
I like that. So, speaking of innovation, what does the future of cybersecurity look like? Like, what trends should we be watching?
Well, one of the biggest is the use of AI and machine learning. We talked about how Zscaler uses it.
Uh-huh.
But that's just the beginning.
Yeah, AI seems to be changing everything these days.
It really is. And it has the potential to completely revolutionize cybersecurity.
How so?
By making it more proactive, efficient, and effective.
So instead of reacting to threats, we'll be able to, stop them before they even happen.
That's the idea.
Wow.
AI can analyze tons of data, find patterns, predict attacks. It's like having a crystal ball for cybercrime.
That sounds amazing. But are there any downsides to using AI for cybersecurity?
Well, like with any powerful technology, there are risks.
Okay, like what?
One is bias. If the data used to train the AI is biased, the AI will be biased too.
Right.
And that could lead to, unfair or discriminatory outcomes.
So we need to make sure AI is developed and used responsibly.
Absolutely.
Right.
And ethically. Another concern is hackers using AI themselves.
Oh, right.
AI can be used for defense, but also to launch even more sophisticated attacks.
It's a double-edged sword.
Exactly. But despite those challenges, AI has enormous potential in cybersecurity.
Yeah.
It can make a whole industry smarter, more adaptable, more effective at protecting us.
It's a really interesting field. It's changing so quickly. Any other big trends we should know about?
Cloud security is becoming increasingly important.
Makes sense. Seems like everything's moving to the cloud these days.
It is, and the cloud is a prime target for hackers.
So we need strong security measures to protect our data there.
Absolutely. Companies like Zscaler, they really understand cloud security.
Right.
So they're in a great position to capitalize on this trend.
Okay, so cloud security is going to be a big deal in the coming years?
Definitely. One of the main battlegrounds in the fight against cybercrime.
This has been a really insightful discussion. As we start to wrap up, what are some key takeaways for our listeners? What should they be thinking about as they navigate this whole digital world?
The most important thing is that cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility. It's not just for the IT people. We all need to be aware, take precautions, and support companies that are making the internet safer.
It's a shared responsibility, like anything else in society.
Exactly. We need to work together to create a safer, more resilient digital future.
It's a powerful message. We're not powerless against these challenges.
Right. We can make a difference.
Yeah, it's good to hear that we can actually make a difference. And it brings us back to Zscaler. I mean, we've talked about how big of a deal cybercrime is, and it's only going to get worse. Could companies like Zscaler be the key to, keeping everyone safe online?
They're definitely a major player. They're right at the forefront of all this, always innovating, finding new ways to protect us from attacks that just keep getting more and more sophisticated. It's like an arms race.
Right, between the good guys and the bad guys. But it's all happening in the digital world.
Exactly. And most people have no idea it's even going on. It's all behind the scenes.
We're just going about our lives online, oblivious.
That's cybersecurity, though, right?
Yes.
Invisible until something breaks. But there's this whole army of cybersecurity experts working to keep us safe. They're constantly watching for threats, coming up with new defenses. It's a tough job.
Yeah, they really are like the unsung heroes of the digital age. Behind the scenes, keeping the internet running smoothly and securely.
Couldn't do it without them. They're essential. I mean, think about it. Everything we do online relies on their work.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, this has been a really fascinating look at cybersecurity. I feel like I've learned so much about the threats, the companies fighting back, and what we can do to protect ourselves.
It's been great talking about it with you. And cybersecurity is it's something I'm really passionate about.
Yeah.
I always love seeing more people taking an interest.
Yeah, for sure. So before we wrap up, any last thoughts for our listeners? Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, just approach cybersecurity with, informed optimism, I guess. The threats are real. They're definitely growing, but we're not helpless. Stay informed, take precautions, support the companies that are doing good work, like Zscaler. That's how we create a safer, more secure digital future for everyone.
I like that. Informed optimism. Be aware, but don't let the fear control you. We can enjoy all the benefits of the digital world, but just be smart about it.
Exactly. Find that balance, right?
Yeah.
Security and freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Protect ourselves, but also empower ourselves.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us and sharing your expertise. It was great having you.
My pleasure. Anytime.
And to all of you listening, thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive. We hope you enjoyed this episode all about cybersecurity. Remember, staying safe online, it's a team effort. We all have a role to play in creating a more secure digital world. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay safe online.